everyone. Let us see the verdict of Minerva Mill case, which again proves that it is the constitution which is supreme, not the parliament, and this case even tries to lay out the balance between fundamental right on one hand and directive principle of state policy, which for brevity I will be calling it as DPSP on the other hand. So let us see detail of Minerva Mill case, and we will see that how 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976 was challenged, which we refer it as the mini constitution, because through 42nd Constitutional Amendment 2/3 of the constitution को change करने की बात कही गई थी. तो what domain was challenged and what our Supreme Court have ultimately decided, let us see through this case law. So name of this case is Minerva Mill Limited and others versus Union of India. So the name of this case is Minerva Mills Limited and others versus Union of India and others, and citation of this case is 1980 Supreme Court. Equivalent citation is 1981 Supreme Court. Judgment came on 31st July 1980 by the Supreme Court of India through 5-judge bench by 4:1 majority, comprising following justices, in which judgment was delivered by Justice Y.V. Chandrachud. Along with him in that 5-judge bench, Justice P.N. Bhagwati, Justice A.C. Gupta, Justice N.L. Untwalia and Justice P.S. Kalayasham were there. So it was decided by 5-judge bench with 4:1 majority, and the judgment came on 31st July 1980. This Minerva Mill Limited was a textile company which was there in the Karnataka. It used to produce silk fabric. Commercial production hota tha silk fabric ka, but according to the central government, this company was not giving adequate production. So central government ने एक committee constitute की to find out that why the company is not producing the adequate production, and this committee has investigated and finally submitted the report to the central government, and central government has ultimately decided to nationalize this company, and this was taken over by the central government, and this Minerva Mill company was declared to be a Sikh enterprise और उसे नेशनलाइज कर दिया गया था अंडर सिख टेक्सटाइल अंडरटेकिंग्स नेशनलाइजेशन एक्ट ऑफ 1974 on the ground that it is not producing the adequate production and it is running in loss and it is not working for the welfare of the public. This company ultimately challenged the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, and that to be specifically 2 sections, that is section number 55 and section number 4 of the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976 was challenged in this case, क्योंकि 42nd Constitutional Amendment wants to bring change in 2/3 of the constitution. That's why we refer 42nd Constitutional Amendment to be as a mini constitution. Let us see why the section 55 and section 4 was challenged of 42nd Constitutional Amendment in this very case of Minerva Mill Limited. Section 55 has inserted 2 clauses in Article 368 of the Constitution of India. Article 368 of the Constitution of India provides for the amendment power of the Parliament, and two clauses, that is clause 4 and clause 5, was inserted through this section 55 of the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Clause 4 हमें ये कहता था कि whatever law Parliament will make through constitutional amendment, that will be beyond judicial review. It means whatever law a Parliament will made, उसकी judicial scrutiny नहीं की जा सकती थी as per this Article 368 का clause 4 which was inserted through this amendment. Moreover, clause 5 says that the Parliament की जो amendment power है, that is unlimited. So it gives unlimited power to the Parliament when it comes to its amending power. So this Article 368 का clause 4 and clause 5 was an issue in this case. Moreover, this section 4 of the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, this tries to give primacy to the directive principle of state policy, which for brevity I will be calling it as the DPSP, over the fundamental right, because this section has brought change in Article 31C of the Constitution of India, and it said that if we want to implement DPSP, then in that case, even if there is infringement of Article 14 or Article 19, then that can be done. So what change was made through section 4 of the Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, more specifically 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. It says that according to Article 31C, if we have to implement directive principle of state policy, and while implementing DPSP there is an infringement. Infringement means violation. अगर DPSP को implement करते हुए infringement हो रहा है fundamental rights का, and that to be fundamental right as provided in Article 14 and in Article 19 of the Constitution of India, then it is justified. So through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment of 1976, primacy was given to DPSP over the fundamental right, क्योंकि बोला गया कि you can even violate right to equality which is being provided in Article 14 of the Constitution of India. Even the right to freedom as provided in Article 19, that can also be done. तो इन दोनों आर्टिकल को which deals with the right to equality and right to freedom respectively, अगर infringement हो भी रहा है while implementation of directive principle of state policy, that is justified. In other words, DPSP was held to be supreme in comparison to the fundamental right. So the core issue before the Supreme Court was two. First thing is that regarding the basic structure, because what happened, you all must be aware with the Keshwanand Bharti case, whose judgment came on 24th April 1973 में, which gave us the doctrine of basic structure, and it was laid down in this case itself कि पार्लियामेंट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को अमेंड तो कर सकती है, बट विदाउट changing or without infringing the basic structure of the constitution. तो basic structure intact रहना चाहिए. If the parliament is amending and through amendment parliament can add anything, it can vary anything, it can even repeal anything, किसी चीज को substitute कर सकती है. तो while amending, one thing is taken to be note, and that is basic structure should not be changed. But what happened through this section 4 and section 55 of the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, which tries to contradict basic structure framework. It tries to contradict basic structure framework. So this was one of the key issue कि क्या basic structure doctrine को हम contradict कर सकते हैं. And the second issue which was involved is that whether DPSP is supreme and its supremacy lies over the fundamental right or not. So let us see what the court have decided in this case. So the legal provisions which are involved in the Minerva Mill Limited and others versus Union of India and others is the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, which we refer it as the mini constitution because it tries to bring change in 2/3 of the constitution. Moreover, Article 368 was an issue, and that to be two clauses, clause 4 and clause 5. Clause 4 says that the laws made by the parliament through amendment is beyond judicial scrutiny, and clause 5 gives the unlimited power to the parliament when it comes to the amendment, and article 31C says that if we have to implement डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी और इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करते हुए अगर फंडामेंटल राइट को इन्फ्रिंज भी करना पड़ा, दैट इज जस्टिफाइड. So what the court have held, because clause 4 of the article 368 says that because it was in question. Why it was in question? Because judicial review is a part of the judiciary, और इसी केस में बोला गया था that judicial review is one of the characteristic of the basic structure. तो list of basic structure में two domains have been added through this case law itself, and one is the judicial review, whereas article 368 का clause 4 which was inserted by the section 55 of the Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, that is the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, it says that Parliament जो भी law बनाती है by amending the Constitution, that cannot be challenged in any court in India. It means it is beyond judicial scrutiny. Moreover, clause 5 says that there is no limitation on the Parliament when it comes to their amendment power, and by amendment they can add on anything, they can vary, or they can even repeal the provision of the Constitution. It means unfettered power was given to the Parliament when it comes to the amendment. But our apex judiciary have struck down the clause 4 and clause 5 of the article 368 of the Constitution of India on the ground that they are violating basic structure doctrine. क्योंकि पार्लियामेंट अमेंड तो कर सकती है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को, बट विदाउट चेंजिंग द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द constitution. So this case has tried to evolve this basic structured doctrine which was laid down in the case of Keshwanand Bharti case. So article 368 ka clause 4 and clause 5 was held unconstitutional by the apex judiciary in this Minerva Mill case. And moreover, article 31C ka that part which gives primacy to the directive principle of state policy over fundamental right was also held unconstitutional. So, what change has been brought through the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976 through the section 55 and section 4 respectively was held unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, and the court has held that we cannot give primacy to directive principle of state policy over the fundamental right. पार्लियामेंट के पास पावर तो है अमेंड करने की, follow the constitution, and if the parliament while implementing DPSP, if there is some change required, some amendment required in the fundamental right, that can be done provided it is not violating the basic structure of the constitution. So this was the judgment in this case. So what was ultimately laid down in this Minerva Mill case? 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976 का वो पार्ट अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डिक्लेयर किया गया था, दैट इज स्पेसिफिकली सेक्शन 55. सेक्शन 55 के थ्रू ही क्लॉज 4 and clause 5 was added to article 368 of the Constitution of India, and article 368 talks about the amending power of the parliament. Clause 4 कहता था कि whatever law is made by the parliament through amendment, that is beyond judicial scrutiny, and clause 5 to article 368 talks about it has unlimited powers. It means through this they are contradicting the basic structure doctrine, hence they were held to be unconstitutional. Moreover, the balance is there between the DPSP and the fundamental right. Harmonious construction is there. We cannot say that one is supreme and other is inferior over the other. So this Minerva case has given two new features to the basic structure, and that is, one is judicial review and another is the balance between fundamental right and directive principle of state policy. Both ko we have to give harmonious construction, because the harmony between the fundamental right and the DPSP is the cornerstone of the Constitution of India. That was being laid down in this case. Now it's the time for your practice question. Let us see what question you have in objective. You have to tell that in the Minerva Mill versus Union of India, with respect to the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, what was declared to be unconstitutional? कौन से डोमेन ऑफ 42nd Constitutional Amendment को unconstitutional declare किया गया था through this case of Minerva Mill? Options are, is it the provision which allows the nationalization of the textile mill? क्योंकि हुआ यही था कि मिनर्वा मिल लिमिटेड को गवर्नमेंट ने नेशनलाइज कर दिया था ऑन द रिपोर्ट ऑफ द कमिटी which has termed it to be sick enterprise because it was running in loss. It was not working for the welfare of the public according to the committee constituted by the central government of that time. Or it is the clause which gives primacy to DPSP over fundamental right, or it is the exclusion of judicial review for constitutional amendment, or it is the last option D, the establishment of a new constitution for India. So you have to let us know in the comment box that which of the four options may say is the correct option with respect to challenging the domain of 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in this case itself. And for mains, you have to write the question that कि how this judgment of Minerva Mills versus Union of India has influenced subsequent decision of the judiciary when it comes to the interpretation of constitutional amendment and the separation of power. तो जब भी court have to interpret the constitutional amendment and separation of power, तो how this case has held to be a landmark decision, that you have to tell in the subjective answer. Thank you.